Well, good evening, Attorney Everett. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I hope you all are doing well during this time.
Thank you. Yes, we are, and hope that your family is too.
Thank you.
We're going to jump right in. Uh, First question. What sets of skills and experiences best prepare a state representative candidate for success?
I think there's a lot of different things. For myself, it's knowing what's expected of a state representative, knowing what happens in the state house. I was a state house aide. I was a senior aide for a state senator, Sonia Chang Diaz. And what I was able to learn in that time is how policy actually moves through that building, and how to promote that the bill and get the community involved and having the voice of the community. So I think someone who knows the community well, knows how the building works and how to get things done are the things that make someone eligible to me to be a state representative and be able to move the issues along that matter most to our communities.
Thank you. And I should have mentioned you are running for the 12th Suffolk
Yes,
District.
12 Suffolk District.
Excellent. Next question. Could you name a current or former public figure who you look to for inspiration and why?
I think a lot of people, I look to Ayanna Presley. I've known Congresswoman Presley since her days as an aide as well. We were both aides and going to community meetings. And just what I admire most about her and why she's one of my sheroes is the fact that she's able to make sure that there is a voice for everyone. We don't always have to agree on how or what's a priority or how to move things along. But the fact that she is willing to listen, to be present, and you know that you've been heard are the characteristics that I look for in a representative and as someone I look to be as the next state representative.
Thank you. Now, if you could pick only one House committee to serve on, what committee would that be and why?
That's so hard. But I would say probably education. And I say education because education is a great equalizer. If you look at education and the issues that we are presently going through, trying to figure out if we're going back to school in the fall, what's going to happen with parents, the equity issue that we saw during COVID-19, all stems with education, right? So if I had one place to be, that I think that we need a very loud voice, it is our education, to make sure that there is equitable distribution of resources, of time, and that all of our children are able to succeed. We can't have a conversation about equality without talking about education.
Thank you. And last question from us. Could you describe the first bill you would file if elected and why?
So the first bill I would file would be a housing bill. It would be to extend the moratorium past the current date. Right now is October 17th. With any luck, the bill that Rep. Honan filed will actually come into play, and that ends in March 2021. But we all know that 45 days after you have, after not working for so many months, not having a source of income, that we cannot expect anyone to pay their mortgage or their rent in 45 days. When I was in the State House, I was part of the drafters that wrote the current foreclosure legislation. So it actually is going to give landlords, small landlords and homeowners, period, a little bit more time than 45 days, but it's still not enough. I don't know too many people who get a job in 45 days and pay back all of the debts that they owe in that 45-day period. And we don't need to have a lot of people losing their houses, not right now. We don't even know if we'll have a vaccine come March 2021. That was the first one.
Thank you. As we wrap up, I'm going to give you an opportunity just to share anything else you'd like to share with us.
Great, thank you. So I am the daughter of this district. I've lived here for 30 plus years. This is a district that I've called home and I call family. They're the ones who showed up when my parents were unavailable, for my mother having mental health issues and my father being in jail for 90% of my life. This community has always shown up for me, whether it's giving me pencils and a check to make sure I took my SATs, to making sure that I knew as a teenage mother that I was greater than the statistics that people said that I would be, and that's just living, you know, below anyone's standard of living on welfare and in subsidized housing. I didn't give up on myself then because my community never gave up on me. And I don't believe that this is a time that we need to wait for anyone to figure out the State House. We have to get in and get to work. I've been there before. I know what the building requires. I know how to move bills along, how to get community at the table. And we can't afford to any longer stand outside the State House doors demanding that we have certain things applied to us. We have to be in the room and at the table. And if given the opportunity, that's the type of state representative I want to be. I want to make sure that your voice is always heard. That on September 1st, I'm going to ask that all of you all consider me as your next state representative. And you can find out more information about me by going to everettforstaterep.com. I look forward to serving this community again as much as it served me, and never giving up. And we are and always will be better together.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
You too.